Why have you not seen Severance yet? Why would you have not seen Severance yet? Severance, the absolute masterpiece which was directed by Ben Stiller. If you've not seen it, stop this video right now, go and watch it. I will be talking about spoilers and things like that, so spoilers are definitely going to come up. Here is your spoiler alert, okay? Spoiler alert officially done. So, Severance, absolutely mind-blowing. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably the best thing I've seen in at least the last 10 years. It may well be, in fact, I'm pretty sure it is, my favourite TV show ever. Especially in like the thriller suspense category. In my opinion, it's perfect. Like quite literally perfect. Arguably a little bit slow to start off with, and that's an argument which I've heard quite a bit of. But in my opinion, that slow start is there to set you up. It's to set up the rules of the show, the rules of that sci-fi universe, you know, and to really give us a setting and to build up to what is definitely the best cliffhanger in recent TV series history. Because that cliffhanger at the end of that show, and you guys know what I'm talking about if you've seen it, is jaw-dropping. How they weaved that show to be able to give you that cliffhanger is a masterpiece, is perfection in itself. The way that has been executed is absolute genius. Let's start off, let's talk about like the show and its what it's made up of, what it consists of, yeah, the rules, the world that it is. Have you ever felt like you live at work? Have you ever felt like I'm always at work, I live at work? Ever felt like that? Ever finished a day of work, gone in the next day and it's like it never ended? What a concept to put into a TV show, and it makes sense. It's clever. If people had the ability to feel like they never work, but you do, would you take it? A lot of people probably would. And that's what this show is about. It's about severing that life, the life of work and the life of leisure, and quite physically, literally severing the two. It's so interesting. It's interesting that, they can understand, the actual same person can understand that this decision has been made. Like at some point, I made the decision to separate my two lives, for me to always be at work and to know nothing about the outside world. And the outside me knows that I have made the choice to sever my work life and to never know a single thing that happens there. And wasn't it amazing when they would come away with like an injury or something that happened at work, and then as a result, work would send them a letter to like talk about it, just give a little hint of what happened and a little bit of compensation. Because if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've seen it now. What did he do? He had an injury on his hand or an injury somewhere. And then he gets a little note and it says, this is like, for what happened type thing. Here's a little thank you for your hard work or whatever. And he gets to have a little meal at a local restaurant, which was just as dead and dreary as the rest of the world in that show. So perfectly put together. That universe, that feeling in that show is tangible, amazing, absolutely fantastic. And then, what was her name? Oh, by the way, let me just touch on this. There's a real theme of hell in this show, isn't there? There is a definite theme of hell in this show. The first word, I'm pretty sure, which we hear is hello. Then the girl is called Helly. And then there's something on the wall like welcome to Helly or Hello Helly, something like that written on the wall. There are definite hell themes in this show, and I feel like that's yet to be explored a little bit more. Let's say it's not hell itself, let's say it's purgatory, but like that's not far off really, is it? It really is so well put together. The cast is perfect. For me, what I love the most is the set design. The set design and costume, but the set design. Amazing. The job. I love the job that they do. How weird is the job, and the computer systems and everything that's just in that world is so beautifully done. I even love the melon bar. Amazing. So clever. So unique. The sequence where Helly is like she's in denial that I don't want to come to work here, what's going on? I loved that. Amazing. She's there, she's in total denial, she hates herself for having accepted this life, this work life. And so she's trying to like break out of the building. So she's running out, and then her outside self is like, no, what are you doing? You're going to work. And pushes her back in again. And she's going in and out. And it's just genius. Absolute genius. And then the way it all builds up to the ability to connect to yourself outside of work. To have your work self come to life or be awoken outside of the workplace. Absolutely mind-blowing. It happened first when it was like that little chubby dude with the glasses and the beard, and then the manager had like got hold of him outside of work, and then he realised, wait a minute, I have a son, blah 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 blah, and he was like, oh my god, I didn't know that we could be spoken to outside of the workplace. And it was some kind of like, outside of work agreement type thing. And then they find a way to abuse that. I loved it. And of course that ties into the cliffhanger. And that is the part which exposes so much information in the show, because it turns out Helly is like one of the founding family of that organisation. So she's one of the Egans, isn't she? She's an Egan, which is just crazy. So she's an Egan, and she's gone into the company to prove that this works, and I'm in there now and I'm happy. But just at that moment, that's the moment when Helly from work is able to come and expose that, no, this is not a good thing. In fact, this is crazy bad. Amazing. Loved it. And how much did you hate their like maid manager woman? I don't know what her name is, but that manager lady, how much did you hate her? What a great performance by her to be so hated. And let's take a moment to talk about the disciplinary process when they go to that little room and they sit there and they get made to repeat certain sentences over and over again until they believe it. So you're going to stay here and you're going to keep reading this apology until I can see that you believe what you're reading. That's crazy. That is proper torture. That is mental. And at the same time, amazing. And then we've got that other story of the man who managed to unsever himself. So he managed to undo the procedure, or at least partly somehow, with some underground deep web people, dark web people, and they've managed to, it's like the resistance, isn't it? They've managed to undo the severance, but he has crazy side effects as a result, and so he's like basically dying. I think he dies, doesn't he? I think he's like dead. And then of course the point which leads us to the massive cliffhanger the wife of the main character, Mark, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's Mark. The wife of the main character, who he thought had died in a car crash, she is actually the psychiatrist inside his workplace. So he's been seeing her there, and they've been having sessions together and conversations and maybe having this strange feeling of a bond. And it's because they're husband and wife. But they are unable to know that because that's the work Mark and that's the work wife, where they don't know anything about the external life. So they don't know that they're married out there in the real world. Mind-blowing, stunning. You know, and then it was the fact that he was what happened now? He was the work Mark had managed to get outside of the actual work world. So, and then he's there with his sister and he's at this party, and turns out the manager lady is there and stuff. And while he's at this party, he sees a picture of him and his wife. And imagine that, like the fact that he could still function and communicate that his wife is alive in itself is one thing, because he could have been so shocked in that time that he couldn't speak, really. You know what I mean? He could have been so shocked that, no, I cannot be speaking, like, you know what I mean? I cannot, like, express myself right here. He could have been in bits. The fact that he was able to run through the party and get to, like, you know, the crowd and scream that she's alive before he, you know, gets switched back into his other life was amazing. Absolutely stunning. And what a place for the show to finish. Absolute genius. Like, we cannot wait until the next season of that starts. That is the best thing I've seen in absolutely ages, and I feel like a lot of people just haven't seen it. Like, why? Do you know what I mean? Like, why have you not seen Severance yet? Why would you have not seen Severance yet? When I first came into contact with it, it was through TikTok. There were people who were saying things like, if you like Shutter Island, and I think they said if you like being John Malkovich, I don't know. It was something like that. But if you like Shutter Island and Inception even, maybe, then you're going to love this. And I was like, okay, I love Shutter Island, so let me check this out. I avoided, like, as much as I could in terms of trailers and any other information about it. So in fact, I went into it blind, and it had me from the beginning. From the start, it had me. It is just an absolute masterpiece, and I could actually watch it again quite happily. There's nothing like that that's out, and I don't think I've seen anything like that either. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you watch it, but I've ruined loads of it for you now, so you can still enjoy it though, to be honest. The style of it is amazing, the cast is magnificent, just the way it's put together is genius. So strongly recommend. It is like, what is it now? It's let me have a quick look over here on what it is. On Rotten Tomatoes, it's 97% on the average tomato meter. An average audience score is 86%. So it's up there. IMDb, let me have a quick look. Severance, IMDb. On IMDb, it gets a accept cookies. 8.7. It should easily be like a 9 or something. Oh, guys, I can't stress how good this show is. You need to watch it. And if you think the start is slow, just see it through. Trust me, just see it through. It is absolutely magnificent, and you will not regret watching Severance at all. If you watch it, pay attention. It is absolutely magnificent through and through. I think that's all I want to say on it. I know that there are like things deeper in the show. Like, I know that there was a massacre in the show, if you know what I mean. There was like one of the departments went mad and like killed another department, something like that. And I think that there are some weird ritualistic themes in there, which may well be explored as it goes on. But I think that covers pretty much everything, aside from the fact that it's a masterpiece. Have I said that? And it's absolutely mind-blowing. I think I've mentioned that too. And that you should really, really watch it. Everyone should watch Severance. Yeah. So, well, in fact, just tiny few more tiny things. The things that make a magnificent TV show are the things that make it instantly recognizable. Okay? Like Breaking Bad. Okay? There are certain words, like the B word. You say that and you know it's taken over. That you know that's come from Breaking Bad. If you say it a certain way, you know, Jesse's favourite word. And then the suits which they would wear when they're making the product, that is it's very much owned by Breaking Bad. So when the set can instantly become a signature, when costume can become a signature, that for me is a sign of a great show. Squid Game. That outfit which they all wear, the bad guys with the symbols on. The outfit which the contestants were wearing with the numbers on, instantly became things which people would wear to like fancy dress parties or Halloween or whatever. When things like that happen, you know that this show is a blockbuster. And I feel like this show has got that. Yeah, kind of unfortunately, it's like work attire, isn't it? But instead for this one, it's more the set. The set is such a signature that it is instantly recognisable. Oh yeah, and I should mention, how crazy was it when Helly was trying to... Wait a minute, I can't say that word online, can I? And one more thing that I should really mention is how crazy was it when Helly was trying to, you know, herself. Do you know what I mean? That was absolutely mental, because the switchover from, you know, her work self to her outside self takes place in the elevator or any door that you're leaving from. And so she was doing it in the elevator so that when she switches to the other life, the other person, then that's when it happens. And then the other one, the outside one, I think she hit the button, so she was going back up the elevator, back to work. So when it happens, it's the work one that gets it. Absolutely crazy. What a thing to put in a show. Do you know what I mean? Like, what a concept. And at that point, you're understanding the rules of the show, so you're understanding what's happening here and who's doing what. You know what I mean? The show has got you understanding its language and its complexities. And that is a massive undertaking. It's a massive achievement, you know, for a TV show, really, for you to be understanding and speaking its language, especially when it has a degree of complexity to it, which this does. So yeah, I think that covers all of it now, really. It's a very interesting show. I strongly recommend it. Very well put together. Some magnificent points of the show. Things that happen are just amazing. Great suspense. Perfect like level of sci-fi. Really, really interesting. I think that there was even themes of people getting themselves severed to go through pregnancy, or getting themselves severed to go through childcare, motherhood. You know what I mean? So interesting. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching, and I'll have a couple of more like TV show, movie recommendation things coming up, and things that you should like stay away from too. But thanks for getting this far in the show, well, video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, take it easy. Thanks for watching. See you later.